I had to work extra hard, both in school and in my sport, to ensure that I'm doing well in both.
In life, many things you can acquire by hard work. Set up your goals, and if you set up your goals and work hard towards them, nothing can stop you from getting what you want. I needed to know something else. I needed to expand, to look wider into the world.
People push the agenda that you have to do sciences, when in fact you can do arts and be a big success. It's just that the society is so rigid on certain things that they don't see the rest of the world is doing something else.
Basketball, I was dreaming, yani, to reach a year, to reach NBA. Because a guy from my community, I think everyone knows him. He's a popular player, he's a well-known player. Lolde came from the same community where I come from.
It was once said brain and brawn do not mix, but some schools are proving the adage wrong. For a long time, sports has always taken a backseat to career, mental and physical development of children, with much emphasis on academics. The Kenyan 844 system of education has not helped matters either, with children burdened by an academic system fashioned to suit the white-collar job market, even as the jobs themselves are becoming more and more scarce. The recent success story on the track and field events has gotten the think tanks in the academic system thinking. The academic facilities continue to churn out graduates that find no jobs available for them. There is a paradigm shift in thinking on which way forward. More and more sports personalities are getting their livelihoods out of sports, thus displacing the earlier favored white-collar job bracket. A case in point is Kenyan David Rudisha, the 800 meters sensation, and internationally renowned short-distance runner Usain Bolt. With the recent success stories from high school students who play sports at school and at the same time manage to attend their academics. Sport greatly contributes to one's mental and physical growth. This is fun, but we often find that the balance is tipped towards academics instead of sports.
Most Kenyans they just see like sports as just an extracurricular. They'd rather you didn't even try. They don't see that you can have a future there.
Sadili Oval Sports Academy has in the past produced some of the best talents within the region in tennis, basketball and rugby, with the bulk of the Kenya Rugby Sevens forming the notable Sadili alumni. At the moment, Sadili caters for the less privileged from the sprawling Kibera slums, Majengo and other youths within the region. This can be highly testified by stories from our current students and part of the alumni. Coming from a very humble background in Uganda, where the breadwinner his father can barely sustain their livelihood, Ayesiga knows too well the importance of education, coming from a background of tennis where his father is a ground supervisor at the Kampala club. Henry, the second born in a family of 5, first caught the keen eye of selector Dr. Liz Odera during a free camp at Lugogo Stadium and was offered a scholarship in January 2009. He has managed to improve his tennis game and joined the Ugandan national team while at the same time excelling in academics at Malezi School.
I like the place because there's a lot of trading. You get to know about many people. We are taken outside to go to visit other countries. to interact with people and to know about other people.
15-year-old Jamin Luvembe was born and raised in the biggest slum in sub-Saharan Africa, the Kibera slums. His story is that of determination, a young Turk ready to learn despite the challenges that he encountered at home. A 3-course meal is a luxury here. Security has gone to the dogs, water and sanitation is severely lacking, and conditions are so deplorable that it is survival for the fittest, literally. He fell in love with tennis by accident while tagging along behind his elder brother who was playing the game at Sadili Oval. Equipped with passion and zeal to learn, the sport has taken him to the United States, Tanzania and Uganda. He got a scholarship to study at Malezi School because of tennis, and although he confesses that though he initially played football, tennis has made him who he is today.
My brother, he once came home with a racket and I asked him, "What's that?" And he told me, "If you want to know what this is, you have to follow me." So I followed him to Sadili. I started playing a bit, and when I came back home, tennis, I was passionate about tennis. I was using my hands as he had his own racket, which was given by Dr. Liz Odera. I kept on using my hands, and then later I went to Sadili and I was given a racket. And in 2006 December, I got a trip to the USA, that's Florida, and it was a 2 weeks time. We had gone there for a camp, a tennis camp that is. We met the former coach of Serena and Venus Williams. He taught us how to be social, how to play tennis, what you need to do if you want to improve your tennis and your life skills. At home, I was playing with my friends. We were just playing the usual game, the common soccer, but I later followed him. I needed to know something else. I needed to expand, to look wider into the world.
My determination is the one which pushes me to come here every day on courts, and also we come here to court to make ourselves better, because we should come here regularly to become pros. We can't just become pros when you're sitting in class and not doing anything. You should also do sports to relax your mind, to increase your high chances of going to schools and to improve your talents.
And while some of the students at Malezi come from well-to-do families, others like John Lutaya have been hardened by life. At a glance, his youthful face disguises the hardships that he has undergone back home. Coming from a poor background, the 13-year-old's dream is to be a mechanical engineer. However, this dream would have remained just that, a dream, were it not for Dr. Liz Odera's visit to Uganda. Seeing the budding tennis player, Dr. Odera felt his poor background should not condemn the boy to a life of solitude, and decided to bring him to Sadili Oval and enrolled him at Malezi School in 2009. 1 year later, the ambitious boy has his career set for greater things.
Life is somehow hard because we are many. The sisters are in high school. I'm the only one in primary. So some have not finished school. They stopped on the way.
William Kwol was born in 1991 in the Sudanese town of Wau, Pankout village. Kwol was forced to take refuge in Kenya from the civil war in Sudan. It was his uncle who took him to Kakuma refugee camp in 1999. It is a traumatic experience that will forever remain a big scar in his life. However, it was through his passion for basketball that the young man managed to start his life all over again. After passing his KCPE exams in 2006, his cousin took him to Nairobi, where he got a scholarship to play for Africa Nazarene University, credit to his sports and academic excellence. However, it was in 2009 when the greatest transformation in his life took place. He met renowned African professional tennis coach Dr. Liz Odera, who offered him a scholarship at the Malezi School because of his basketball and academics. His dream has always been to play in the NBA like his countryman Chicago's Luol Deng. Just like his peers, he is grateful to Dr. Liz Odera for the opportunity to study at the Malezi School.
When I was in class 5, I used to play basketball. Basketball, I was dreaming to reach a year to reach NBA. Because a guy from my community, I think everyone knows him. He's a popular player, he's a well-known player. Luol Deng came from the same community where I come from. So Luol was the same thing, the same life. He was a refugee in Egypt, and he made it. He's a well-known person now. So from there, I started to play basketball when I was in class 5. So we used to be trained by a Kenyan coach, voluntary. So we don't used to pay for those coaches, and they have from that time we really have love of game. So from there, this is where I built up my basketball, and I really dream of that in future, as from date, I'll have to proceed to my basketball, God will, and people will see me as a superstar in 10 years to come.
Amadi Kagoma was born in 1994 in Buyezi, Burundi. Amadi is very grateful for a scholarship that accorded him the opportunity to juggle academics as well as his tennis in a small slum widely known in Eastern Africa. Life in Bunyezi is like Kibera slums, and coming from a poor and very large family background, his parents had a difficult time raising his school fees. However, he managed to use tennis to raise his own fees. By taking part in tennis tournaments, he was able to provide meals for his family at a tender age of 8 years. Then it was at Malezi School in 2006 where he applied and got a scholarship with the help of a foreign benefactor that he was able to better his tennis game as well as concentrate on his education. He is currently ranked second best in Burundi.
I saw the importance of tennis, the importance of sport, that sport can earn someone's life, because as I was playing tennis, at the same time I used to play with members at the club, and I used to get some little money to buy myself shoes and to pay for my school fees in Burundi, because my parents couldn't afford to pay for me my school fees. It was cheap, but they couldn't afford because they didn't go to school, my parents, and they are jobless. So I had to work extra hard, both in school and in my sport, to ensure that I'm doing well in both, and to ensure that I'm paying my school fees in school.
Malezi School has managed to blend the less fortunate in the society with the students who are well off. 16-year-old Zachary Gregory Okongo comes from Eldoret. His father is a lecturer at Moi University, Kenya, while his mother is a matron at a constituent campus. He joined Malezi School with the hope of nurturing his basketball game as well as excelling in education.
I started basketball. It seemed like a sport, I just played it. But as I kept on playing, the passion grew. I just love it. There's no single day I can go without just holding a ball and just thinking of me as a superstar someday playing, maybe in the NBA, as I hope to.
Okay, when I joined Malezi School, my basketball really gone up. I really improved on my games. because my coach and also my teammates, really, when I joined the team, it was very different from what I used to be outside there. Because in outside there, I used to play street basketball. Yeah, and when I came here, coach told me, William, you can make it also. I can see you can handle the ball very well, but here we have to narrow down into a basic basketball. So I told him, no problem, coach. So I joined the basketball. When I joined the team, we did very well in the team.
Many young Kenyans leave the country to study in overseas universities on sports scholarships, and that is the last that is heard of them. Former Malezi school captain and rising tennis sensation Joab Odera, who blazed the trail at the secondary school's tennis circuit, was in the country on vacation and says talented sports students deserve to get a chance to play their sport of choice while at the same time juggling their academic grades. After ruling the local roost, where he led his school team to take the national title for 4 consecutive years, Odera earned a place at the American University in 2008 on a tennis scholarship where he is studying molecular biology. The university has since awarded him full scholarship owing to his academic brilliance that saw him score a high GPA. He owes much of his success to his mother, Dr. Liz Odera, an international tennis professional and the director at Sadili Oval that has been variously described as a melting pot for tennis in the East Africa region. She is also a renowned scientist with degrees in sports sciences, immunology, parasitology, and education. A country without youth structures can never boast of youth development. The private sector has come forcefully in ensuring that children benefit from both sports as well as education.
Kids in 844, they don't really pay attention to what's going to happen next. What do I want to do in life? They just look at you like, huh? And the one thing you find that some people want to do things like become doctors and stuff, and they're not seeing that they have chosen the wrong maybe for themselves because they're not very good in science. They might be terrible in science and they want to become doctors. So you try and combat such things and have them look at the other side also.
Academics will always come first in my life. But if I ever get a chance to become a professional basketball player, then I'll take it up and be one.
At Malezi school, I'm confident that I can achieve my goals. I believe tennis can make me earn money, and besides that, I want to be a neurosurgeon.
At Malezi School, located within Langata Estate in Nairobi, Kenya, disadvantaged youths have benefited from this program that ensures that while they continue to excel in academics, their sports talents are harnessed. Most of the youths come from the slums, and were it not for Malezi, their dreams would not be realized.